All right, y'all, let's get into the Mandela effect and the Flash and time travel and things like that, okay? Because the Flash tells us he goes back and changes one thing and it creates a rift, all right? So this is where the people are saying, Eric Stoltz played in Back to the Future, whatever, right? Now, if you know Back to the Future stuff, you know that Eric Stoltz was the one who was originally cast for Back to the Future. So, I don't know if this rift is necessarily real. However, the Mandela effect with the AI and all these things, we have to put them all kind of together and bring it into a believable reality a little bit. But with the light and the way light is, we are able to time travel. It is very possible that we have every single time of man overlaying our light right now. It's just a frequency of light. All right. What we are the visible light spectrum of what we see, but there can be layers of visible light spectrums in those spectrums to where you can have all of time overlaying, and that's where you get the infrared and the different things, okay? And that would also explain ghosts and all these other things where there's rifts in these dimensions, and that's where the spirit inside of us, or like a ghost during the day could be somebody sleeping at night and that spirit's out moving around or whatever kind of thing. And there's just depending on the stars in the sky and whatever else will depend on those portals that are open. Either way, the things that were being shown about them going back and changing things, we've seen some of these things play out in the past where they tell us a number the day before and then it changes the next day, or like these little details or whatever. That can be one instance of this where they're just going in and changing the news numbers. But today, woke up, it's 1/20/24, and Hugh Hefner, they're telling us, died in 2017. Okay? This is not real, because I know for a fact that Hugh Hefner died after COVID. He died a couple years ago or so. I know where I was working when he died. All right, when I read the news story. So I also did a post about the symbology of him being a red heifer sacrifice after the COVID time. Either way, they're saying now that he's died in 2017. Now, is this to connect different points of light for the mirror and the maze, or is this actually something that went back and changed and we don't see it changing necessarily because it's in the past? All right. And that's kind of what they tell us, that nukes open up dimensions. These big bombs like Hiroshima and stuff, they open up dimensional portals. Now, this is symbolically for the men, all right? The dimensional portals, the portals, and they're just eating it up, all right? But as far as that spiritual presence, they could be creating a rift in that light, because it's we're all this light, and since it creates a rift in that light, and that light over there affects this light over here, and all those little things, it could be a way of doing the time travel, and that's where we get us being taken back in. As we're going forward, we're going back in time. Either way, folks, Trump is an 88 machine. His last name equals 88. My name equals 88. Maybe the people whose names equal 88, or they're attached to 88s in some way, shape, or form, depending how they're attached, will depend on them going through the wormhole with the time machine and not being affected by the rift. Okay? And the heart attacks that we see people having or whatever, this might involve them going back in time and creating rifts that way. All right, so we know that Biff, he carried the sports almanac, and the things were based on the sports almanac, and going back and changing things and becoming rich with those things. And when he did that, it changed things or whatever. So we're kind of living in those times where maybe he did go back and this could be something just came to me, but maybe the Trump Elvis connection, maybe, and Elvis, the government, CIA, military, all these connections, all right, because he went into deep cover. Maybe part of this would be him going back in time and then coming back and doing the Elvis thing as Trump, but doing it in another form of the King Spirit or whatever, all right? Either way, because we know that, or maybe he was able to come back as him or something. Who knows? So I'm just trying to connect what we're being shown through the television, what I've been shown, what the Spirit's kind of showing, and just trying to put it together, because there's something about this end times and all these times breaking open, and the Mandela effect, and these things with Hugh Hefner. There's some things going on that we can't necessarily put our finger on, but we can kind of connect the whole picture together and kind of see the image. But it's very possible, because Tesla, time travel, time machine, information. Trump's uncle took those papers according to the story, and then according to the story, we funded World War II. We brought those Nazi scientists who were into time travel over here to the CIA. So all these things can be linked together. And the CAI, or the CIA, the AIC, and all those things. And then that's where you could have MK Ultra coming, and that's God programming man. But as it's programming man, it's programming the sons of God also. And those types of things. So that's where you have two segments of society, basically. Two types of men: sons of God, sons of man. You have sheep, non-sheep, the herd, the non-herd. So either way, folks, just to get the old mind going, because there's something going on with this thing with them going on and changing. Because otherwise, if Hugh Hefner died in 2017, like it says, that means there's something going on with this time continuum, because he died a couple years ago. Okay? So, I mean, that's just one example. We can go find more and more examples. Anyways, folks, we'll end it here.